religion also has provided food and water and medicine and supplies and housing, and there has been, in the name of religion, much good that has been done, both in this country and around the world.
Whenever a creationist realizes that they don't have any evidence to support their religious claims, it's amazing how quickly they'll grasp at this straw. We need religion to have charities? So do I need to lie to every cold person before I give them a blanket? Do I have to deceive every starving child before I give them food? Or can I just lend a helping hand that isn't covered in bullcrap? Ignoring for a moment all of the secular charities that don't waste donation dollars on building churches and buying religious material, secular organizations like USAID, UNHCR, Doctors Without Borders, UNICEF, the Red Cross, or the fact that many of the top philanthropists in the world don't believe in God, including Bill Gates and Warren Buffett, who have convinced a plethora of the world's wealthiest people to pledge the majority of their money to philanthropic causes, garnering the signatures of 170 billionaires, including notable atheists like Richard Branson and Elon Musk. But ignoring all of that for a moment, a charitable act here and there doesn't justify the teaching of things that aren't true. Hamas, Hezbollah, hell, even ISIS all engage in charitable giving. Does that justify the existence of these organizations or the horrific things that they condone and conduct? Would it not be better to promote human kindness and philanthropy for its own sake, without the religious baggage? After Hurricane Harvey slammed into Texas, dealing billions of dollars worth of damage and claiming the lives of dozens of victims, thousands of people stepped up to help out. Sure, there were pastors, churches, mosques, and temples that donated time and money, but so did hundreds of companies, individuals, government organizations, and celebrities. Duracell, Airbnb, Verizon, even Walmart. Hell, even Fergie helped with the fundraising effort. She's even donated some of her money to various charities. Meanwhile, Joel Osteen, pastor of the largest church in Texas, shuttered the doors to his church.
You see this? This is Lakewood. I'm in the front of the church. The church is higher than the goddamn freeway. Do you see the freeway? That's the freeway. You see that's 59, the Southwest Freeway. You see that car driving on it? It's not closed.
Oh, look at the flooding. Jesus. We're at Joel Osteen's church, where he can't take anyone in because he's under so much water distress right now. Look at that. Joel! Joel, are you here? You know what's happening across the freeway? People are dying.
Only opening them after he received massive social media backlash. Now, while I'm not a fan of Osteen, I want to be fair. According to him, water did come within a foot of breaching their retaining wall and flooding the auditorium. But even if safety was his main concern and all of that was true, I still think he could have provided the higher level rooms as shelter. But even putting all of that aside, the largest church in Texas admitted that it was in no position to help.
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Why would you donate money to a church when you could give it straight to an organization that could help and help immediately, that's trained specifically for this type of situation? On top of that, with religious institutions, you don't even know where your money is going. Churches are notorious for being completely opaque with their books, because in addition to not having to pay taxes, churches don't have to disclose their finances or budget, and they usually don't. Honestly, I think it's pretty disgraceful how many cities in the US have hundreds of churches with multi-million-dollar budgets, gorgeous facilities, and top-of-the-line equipment, while thousands of homeless people roam the streets searching for food and shelter. Now, I fully support charity, and even began raising funds on my channel and through social media for the disaster relief effort of Hurricane Harvey. And I was hardly the only atheist to do so either. Seth Andrews, Matt Dillahunty, Aaron Ra, Callie Wright, Thomas Smith, Jacqueline Glenn, and many other atheist activists helped in the fundraising efforts. Yeah, they're small compared to gigantic religious institutions, and atheists are still a minority. But while we don't have anywhere near the same fundraising capabilities as religious organizations yet, it's secular organizations like All Hands Volunteers that spend 90% or more of their budget on actual charity. In a recent survey of megachurches, over half of the respondents admitted that they spend less than 15% of their budget on ministry beyond their congregation. Since that includes money spent spreading the gospel and on mission spending, only a fraction of that was actually charity. And this only includes the churches willing to respond to the survey, a survey of super rich, huge churches. Oh, and according to the results, the smaller the church, the smaller the percent of the budget went to charity. Tell me again why we need religious institutions for humanitarian aid. And as FEMA's budget was nearing depletion from Hurricane Harvey and Hurricane Irma was bearing down on Florida, 3 churches had the gall to sue FEMA for government aid. Churches don't even pay taxes. It's so transparent that they choose to sue a disaster relief agency for funds rather than pray for God to provide the money to fix their church. tell me why my tax dollars should be used to repair their houses of worship. Because worship works so well. I hate to break it to you, but standing in a circle singing happy ditties to a hurricane cloud won't make it go away. I'm sure it feels extremely empowering, but so does telling you that my farts cure cancer. Empowering, but delusional. It doesn't make it true. I know that some churches were extremely generous in giving of their resources, and that's wonderful, but churches get their money from donations. Wouldn't it be better if churches were transparent about what they do with those donations? Or better yet, if we just donated our money directly to the groups doing the most good? Sure, there will always be some administrative costs, but at least you'll know where your money is going, which charity is the most efficient, and that your money isn't being used to propagate lies. Charity Watch, Charity Navigator, and GiveWell all rate and recommend charities to help you find where your dollars will be most effective. Foundation Beyond Belief finds charities where your money won't be spent on religious materials. Secular and government organizations like the Red Cross, FEMA, the LGBTQ Disaster Relief Fund, the Humane Society, All Hands Volunteers, and many others begin raising funds, collecting blood donations, providing shelter, etc. I would give to a responsible secular charity any day over an institution with closed books that blames the weather on gay people and abortion and uses donations to propagate dogma. Saying that we need religion because of religious charities is like saying that we need internet service provider monopolies because Comcast donates to charity. This is the weakest argument for religion that I have ever heard. In the United States in 2011, almost $100 billion were donated to religious organizations, a third of all charitable donations. Imagine what we could do with all of that money if it was donated instead to medical research, education, or the promotion of science. Meanwhile, the Vatican has rooms made entirely of gold.
There has been, in the name of religion, much good that has been done, both in this country and around the world.
People send money, they buy the product, or they support the ministry. Yeah, just an unbelievable amount that keeps it all going.
I can't be a big blessing to people if I'm poor and broke and depressed and I don't feel good about myself.
Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Give generously, but don't give to dogma dispensaries. Give where it counts. Oh, and if religious people believe that God targets places due to iniquity, then why did he flood hundreds of churches in the Bible Belt but left Amsterdam, Rio, and Vegas untouched?